Everyone says it doesn't matter when you walk. Just get your steps in. But that's not actually true because one specific time of day can force your body to burn fat instead of sugar. Here's what's happening. Every night while you sleep, your body slowly runs out of stored sugar. By the time you wake up, those stores are almost empty. If you go for a walk right away, before eating anything, your body has no choice. It has to burn fat for energy. That's why studies show walking in a fasted state can burn significantly more fat than walking after a meal. In some cases, up to 70% more. Now, here's the part most people miss. It doesn't just burn more fat during the walk, it shifts your body to burn more fat for the rest of the day. That's why the best single time to walk for fat loss is first thing in the morning before breakfast and aim for 20 to 45 minutes at a brisk pace. Fast enough that you're breathing heavily but can still hold a conversation. That's all it takes.
So when you look at the actual human studies on this, the first part of the claim is technically true. Acute fat oxidation, which is just the scientific way of saying fat burning, is higher in a fasted state because your insulin and food energy levels are low from the overnight fast. But the longer term trials that randomized people to fasting versus fed exercise while controlling total calorie intake and expenditure show no meaningful difference in total fat mass loss or even visceral fat reduction over weeks to months. Any small differences that did show up disappeared the second they decided to also equate protein intake, resistance training, and the overall calorie deficit that the users were in. So whenever you dive into the literature comparing fasted to fed cardio, you will consistently find that adherence over time and total weekly energy expenditure matter far more than whether or not somebody was fasted or fed when they were getting their steps in. The only slight argument that can be made here is that morning walkers sometimes report slightly better adherence and consistency just because they built the habit. But the actual fat loss advantage is not statistically significant once you account for that. So sure, there are absolutely some acute benefits to doing a morning walk while fasted, and they can be super convenient and easy to stick to. However, on a long time horizon, you should not expect them to be a magic fat loss multiplier beyond the basic fundamental principles of a calorie deficit, high protein intake, and resistance training.